Okay, this looks nice and dry. It's got a skin over it, and I've let it dry for at least 2 hours. It might have even been longer than 2 hours. Okay? So now I'm going to put the finish caulking on there. Let's do this, shall we? Now, I'm going to tell you until the cows come home. You've got to have a small tip on your caulk tube. Ha! Okay? And I'm just going to do a little bit first to make sure I feel comfortable with how much I'm putting on here at a time. Okay? I'm just going to do a little row here, about that much. And I've got my wet sponge here, and I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to look at that, and I want this bead nice and even Steven, all the way down there. Even when you think it's even, if you look up there, you can see that there's some on the tile, at the top of the tile, and at the bottom where the tub is. You want that line nice and even all the way. You can't do that. I'm sorry. You just can't do that with putting blue tape down and then pulling the tape back up. It's just never going to look right, because if you do that, you're going to have an edge at the top and an edge at the bottom. Now see that? That's how you want your line, just like that. You don't want it any more than that. It blends right up in to the tile and right down to the tub. It's got a nice dip right in the middle. Okay? Now that's how I'm gonna just keep doing that all the way down that edge. Let's see. Let's see how much thicker that's going to be. It's not really super thick than the backing bit that I put in before, right? Okay? But it's just going to give it that added little bit and make it look nice and professional looking. So the key is not to put too much on. You're just going to have to practice it and figure out about how much to put on. You know? And this tube, I think I used it before and I poked it, and there's a little bit in here that I'm going to have to get out because it's going to spooge. I can tell because it's stopping up. I'm just going to do this little bit here. And now I'm going to I got to clean that tip out. Okay? Because if I don't clean that tip out, I'm going to be sorry. Because that's not a brand new caulk tube. And sometimes when you take this tube, and see, most caulk guns have this here, you can poke that. But then sometimes you get some of the dry stuff in here, and it doesn't come out at first, and then it starts building up and it wants to come out. That's what's happened, so I got to clean this tip out. I'll be right back.